Well, hey everybody. We're still in the Christmas season, or the Advent season actually, leading up to Christmas. So I thought today we'd have a look at a little ditty that most of you know. And if you've been to a concert or heard carolers in the street or been to your children's school concert, you probably heard this. It's, "We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year." Let's have a look at the origins of that lovely little ditty, which at one time evoked fear and terror in the hearts of people. Today, when carolers lend their voices to the strains of "We Wish You a Merry Christmas," it is usually at the conclusion of their performance, and only the chorus is sung. No one seems to ask now for figgy pudding, or even sing out the good tidings of the season. Though this simple little ditty remains one of the world's best-known carols, it is really out of place in a modern world. The Christmas that was celebrated when "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" was a musical holiday centerpiece is now long forgotten, replaced by a holiday that embraces the birth of Christ, a Santa who recalls the wishes of good little children, and a gentle time of families coming together to remember old memories and make new ones. This Christmas of today is far better than the English Christmas of 300 years ago, when figgy pudding was a holiday treat, and those singing the song were little more than old-fashioned looters. "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" was probably written in the 16th century. Initially it was performed by waits, traveling bands of troubadours who sang songs of the season on the streets of English towns. These troops would make their living from gifts of wealthy who paid to hear their songs. So initially, "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" did evoke pleasant thoughts of a holiday that ironically was then often ignored by most Christians in England. Yet when an unsavory group of people took over the song, reshaping its meaning, "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" became an anthem that evoked alarm and consternation. Though it's not often mentioned today, Christmas was once a lot more like Mardi Gras than a worshipful holiday. This is the reason why Christmas, up until 20 years before the Civil War in the United States, was all but ignored in both England and the United States. In Germany and sections of Eastern Europe, the holiday was observed with both awe and reverence. But in the English-speaking world, the day had evolved into a time of drunken parties and marauding street gangs, so many upstanding citizens just wanted it to disappear. Because of pagan elements dating back to the days when Rome ruled the world, for centuries the Protestant Church tried to have Christmas abolished. Even after America broke off from Great Britain, celebrating Christmas was a crime in many sections of New England. On December 25th, stores and schools in Boston and New York City remained open. Congress met, courts held session, and only a few churches unlocked their doors for worship services. Presents were not given out until New Year's Eve, and decorating for the holidays was unheard of. Though attempts to officially outlaw Christmas in England had failed during the rule of Oliver Cromwell, the holiday did not resemble a holy day. In fact, extra police were placed on duty to try to control the drunken crowds who roamed the streets. These revelers had more than simply celebrating on their minds. Like pirates sailing the open sea, they were after bounty. Most set their sights on the nicest sections of their communities. As they roamed, they sang songs reflecting their feelings about the day. "We Wish You a Merry Christmas," now sung with a demanding tone, was the most popular of these old carols. During the blackest days of Christmas in Old England, though it is now hard to imagine, "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" was not nearly as sweet as the chorus and the Old English folk tune made it sound. There were many more verses to this old holiday standard than what we know today, and the most important element in understanding the lyrics rests not in the first verse, but in the refrains that connect that verse to the chorus. "Oh, bring us some figgy pudding, oh, bring us some figgy pudding, oh, bring us some figgy pudding, and a cup of good cheer. We won't go until we get some. We won't go until we get some. We won't go until we get some. So bring some out here. The key line in this old carol is, we won't go until we get some. This meant exactly what it said. The band of singers would knock on the doors of the finest houses and sing out their demands. If the owners of the homes did not meet the loathsome group's requests, then the men often knocked open the doors and took what they pleased. Thus, this form of early caroling became a very serious and sometimes lethal version of trick-or-treat. Some homeowners and singers were killed during these visits, and many more were injured. The singing of We Wish You a Merry Christmas didn't just announce the arrival of the unwanted band, but gave ominous warnings as well. Police and homeowners usually gauged the seriousness of the situation by carefully listening to the lyrics sung in the song's verses. There were always sighs of relief if only food and drink were mentioned. When the carolers began to demand money and household items, the law and those hearing the song from inside the home became very concerned. The wild nature of Christmas lasted several hundred years in both England and the United States, and did not dramatically change until Santa arrived on the scene. In a very real sense, the figure based on St. Nicholas helped save the holiday for families and churches alike. Santa, along with the great German traditions brought to England by Prince Albert when he married Queen Victoria in 1840, erased the centuries-old image of a violent and lawless Christmas, replacing it with one of focusing on the true meaning of the holiday and the spirit of giving. This change in perception was the foundation for the Christmas we know and celebrate today. With the advent of a gentler holiday, most elements of the ribald Christmas of the past were quickly forgotten. Yet the old street carol, We Wish You a Merry Christmas, lived on. This time it was sung by a new generation of street singers who embraced foremost the holiness of the holidays. These carolers transformed We Wish You a Merry Christmas into a number that brought smiles, not fear. Finally, it was again a song that was sung with sincere good wishes of a wonderful holiday season. For the curious who still long to taste figgy pudding, the recipe consists of figs blended with butter, sugar, eggs, milk, rum, bits of apple, lemon, and orange peel, nuts, cinnamon, cloves, and ginger. Yet while the ingredients are easy to find today, it would probably not be a popular gift during the modern Christmas season. Like the violent Christmas of the past, figgy pudding might be best left and forgotten. So there you go. There's a story behind We Wish You a Merry Christmas. Well, I know some of you only tune in for the last little bit of this, for the groaner. You want a groaner. Are you demanding a groaner? Are you saying, now give us a groaner right now, oh give us a groaner right now, oh give us a groaner right now, and tell it to us. We won't go until we hear it, we won't go until we hear it, we won't go until we hear it, so tell it right now. All right, a groaner you will get. A man dropped in to visit an old friend and was quite surprised to find his friend playing chess with a dog. The man watched in awe for several minutes and then said to his friend, "That's the most intelligent dog I've ever seen." To which his friend replied, "Oh, I wouldn't be too impressed if I were you. I've beaten him 3 games out of 4. There you go. Well, until next week when we do something interesting, I have no idea what we're going to do yet, but if you tune in, you'll find out. Until then, take care, stay safe, and God bless.